Hey guys, it's Erin from Earth Healer Movement. I have a message today for you all out there to be mindful of the words that you choose and the special meaning behind words. So I'm being shown in I'm getting a lot of downloads today, so it's kind of like all over the place, but it's kind of like honing in on words are powerful. So really be conscious of every word that you're saying about the day to other people and just to yourself internally. Be mindful. And that's the practice that I've been practicing. That's how you retrain your brain and you become a powerful being and you are more successful in life. It's about training yourself on how to think. I'm getting distractions. There's a bunch of buses driving by. Okay, so I'm in a mall parking lot right now under the shade. And Spirit brings me to different places that to give these messages that are like very open, and there's like not anybody around me like in my close proximity, but I am next to like a little street right here, like the mall like main turnaround. And I guess this is the time when the buses are leaving. I don't know if that's significant to this message, because everything has significance. Nothing is a coincidence. So this spot that, okay, this is the reason. This spot that I'm in right now is meant to be. I was guided to this spot, and I knew it. When I turned into this parking lot, I've been coming here and giving messages and like sitting in this parking lot, and usually I sit in a different spot, but this time the spots aren't shaded right now because it's a different time of day. I usually don't come in the morning like this. So, and then I turned right instead of left, and then I found this perfectly shaded spot, and there wasn't any other ones that were like this good. And it was like I knew it was divine because I turned right instinctively and immediately I saw it. I was like, because I was thinking, oh, I don't know why I turned this way, but immediately I saw the spot. So that has significance to this message, which is amazing, because that's why the buses were distracting me, and that's why I had to talk about where I was and what happened to me, and it all led to this talk. So that's why I know these things about God. Like, I know I'm getting to know God through this journey, like every like little thing, like how God speaks to me, how the universe interacts with me, whoever these forces are. It could be angels, ancestors, spirit guides, it could be God, it could be the universe, like magnetic pull, or it could be, I'm hearing like intergalactic species, like alien like communication. I don't know. That was crazy, because I was thinking like aliens, but then I got intergalactic species. I have to look up intergalactic because that is not even in my vocabulary. So this is just getting so crazy. All right, so words are extremely powerful because my mind is just like going all over the place. So I'm actually feeling that deep breath again, which is a signal of mine that this message is getting like a lot deeper than I expected, that there's messages coming through. And I'm just like pausing for a little bit, telling me to breathe and relax. I'm hearing we're gonna get through this. All these messages are from light beings. Hold on to your heart. We love you. Okay, I'm feeling like I just need to talk, and then like I normally do, that's how these messages come through, is when I'm speaking on something and then it's just like added to it. Sometimes I do get like a word flow. I get like a message that comes through that's like stuff where I'm not thinking at all, and I'm just hearing these words or these phrases or something coming through, and I can like just relay the information to you guys. So that's what I was thinking was happening, and it did like a little bit, which is crazy. But I'm knowing that when I have that deep breath, like that, like sense of like I need to take a deep breath because I feel like an overwhelming like a kind of like a stress or like an anxiety kind of feeling, and to like release it. But that means something to these messages. It means that there's like a spirit that wants to like say something. This is not the kind of message that I wanted to be talking about right now, but that's what's coming through, so I have to just go with it. So that's what I was thinking this morning about the video that I just did. It was kind of like I was replaying the part where I said God wants, this morning when I woke up, that God wants me home writing books. And that was agitating me, and in the video like cut off. And so I posted it like that. And but the part where I was saying that and asking for help, like financial assistance or like you know, it's kind of like it's me trying to control things again. So it's like, and so I'm getting like an ear itch. So it is like ingrained in our human nature to be a certain way because of our society. And no matter how hard we try to reprogram ourselves, we are human and we are programmable. It's like our operating system cannot just be completely wiped out or we would be dead. So we have to just, like, when we notice something that's not right, to fix it right away. So it's like when you have a car that needs an oil change or whatever, or the light goes on, the engine light or something like that. It's like then you maintain it. So that's what we have to think about our bodies. So when something is sore, we're fixing it, we're stretching it out, or we're working. If you feel like sluggish or you feel overweight, you work out, you maintain your body, and you're trying to recalibrate all the time. That word keeps coming through. So it's just like a maintenance of yourself, and you're trying to reprogram yourself. So on this mission, we are being highly aware of ourselves, separating ourselves, our mindset, from where we used to be, or where the rest of the world has taught us, to where we want to be, in the light. That's what I just heard, in the light, because that's not what I was gonna say. That's amazing. So it's almost like we were taught in the darkness. They make it seem like it's light and cheerful and like good, but it's like, I'm seeing like a pot with a lid on the top of it, like trying to put us in this, like the glass ceiling, the pot, trying to put all of us in line, like in a pot, like with the cover on top, so we can't get out, so we don't think above the lid, Yeah, it's like the glass ceiling is like trying to cover up. I never really, oh God, my throat chakra. They don't want us to talk about this. Okay, so I never really looked up the glass ceiling, but I keep getting that phrase, and I knew like what it was. It's like to keep us, but I didn't really know, but I figured it out because I kept saying, like, I was being told that. So the glass ceiling is like, it's like there's an invisible layer. We can't really see it, but they're trying to keep us from our spiritual connection. So it's like you can't get farther in life because there's this glass ceiling. So you can keep trying to reach like for higher heights, like you could keep trying to reach for success. Like in society, we're like idolizing this wealth, this mega wealth, and like celebrities and rich, successful people that have a lot of stuff. And whether that be doctors, lawyers, anybody that's like successful, like, well, that's what we're being told is like, you're a success if you have money and things. But there's this glass ceiling where like you can only get to a certain level in life, and that's it, because we're being programmed, whether it's, I'm hearing it is meant, but the way that they're doing it is like I'm not doing anything, like we're not doing like who's doing it? Like we're not doing anything. But I'm getting like there's these companies that are kind of like ruling the world. It's like I'm hearing like Illuminati, but it's like the evil Illuminati. There's different forms of Illuminati. So there's these mega wealthy people that have learned the secret, and They don't want anybody to know. They want to put the lid on the pot and keep it secret so they can gather all the wealth for themselves and be greedy and rule the world. Okay, I just have to say, like I was hearing Jay-Z and Beyonce. Okay, so I'm hearing Jeffrey Epstein. I think he was the guy that, like, I think he got murdered in prison. He got sent to prison because there was like this, I'm hearing plot and scheme with celebrities, like, I didn't really follow that story that much, but there was like, okay, I'm getting the connection with Oprah and like Harvey Weinstein and like these rich celebrity billionaires would like go to this island, and there was like underaged, I'm hearing these words that aren't good. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say all this stuff on YouTube. I think it's out in the public, so it doesn't matter. Prostitution. I heard ring, prostitution ring. And he was the leader. So I'm getting this clear, I'm getting these clear like words like coming to me. I think he was, this is what I'm hearing, is he was found hung. Like he hung himself. That's what they were saying in the media. But I don't think that's what happened. I think that somebody did that to him. And that might be known. I didn't even like research this like recently. I think I looked into it like a while ago, like when it happened. And I just kept seeing this. I did get a visual of him like in prison being hung by like bed sheets or whatever on his like bunk or something like that in a cell. But anyways, this message just went completely left. This is like weird. But I guess this is what we need to know. That's what I'm being told, is like, these are the kind of things. So no matter where this goes, this is the path. So I just have to roll with it and go with it and not try to control it. So when I'm telling you guys that God wants me home writing books, that's going against what my path is, what I'm telling you guys, like what I'm being told. So it's like, stop trying to control it. Stop trying to say this is what you're gonna do and this, because you cannot predict. I only have so much control over things. I mean, I don't even really like and I feel bad, like I'm telling you guys I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that, and then I like can't do it. Like, I really want to take control of this and do it my way, but that's not how this thing works. I do need to, like, I do have choices, but it's in an alignment with who I am and my authenticity and, like, what works for my life. And it's almost like I'm seeing this funnel where I don't have many options. So it's like I have to choose the right path. It's like the path is narrowing. It's like maybe there was different ways to go, maybe for other people, but for me it's like a narrow path. It's like everything is, it's like a river that's like narrowing, and everything is flowing in a divinely guided way, a flow. So you have to take that path. It's like you're just following the river. That's the message that I'm getting. That is really cool. It's almost like you're on a raft and you're not paddling it. Okay, so if you like get off, like to the, if your boat starts going like getting stuck somewhere, you're gonna have to push your oar against the shore and get back in the flow of the river. Or if there's something like blocking you and you can't flow down the river, I'm hearing guidance, divine guidance, and natural flow. Peaceful calmness. This like spirit about you, like when you're just this calm serenity, when you're floating down the river, you feel at peace. And like you're gonna get anxiety if you try to control the river, if you try to go upstream, if you try to like, if you want to just like, if the river's taking you down, but you see something that you want to stop and look at, like you want to get out of the boat, you're not going to be able to. You will fall out into the river and like scrape your legs and stuff. Like on the rocks or whatever. It's like better for you to just flow down the river. It's almost like you have a destination. It's all, like I was being told just now, like you have to get home before dark. Like God knows where. It's almost like a parent, like a toddler, like wanting to play at the park longer or something like that. But the parent knows that you need to get home and have dinner, or like cook dinner, and like you have a schedule, like you have a bedtime and you're scheduled to do things. But this is in a completely different way, because God is my parent and I don't know what's happening, and I am an obedient child. I'm not a toddler. So it's almost like society is like toddlers, but I'm like, just, I obey. Like I'm a good, like a leader. That's what I was being told. I'm a leader. But I'm like, You know those like teenagers that are like just really, it's almost like in the army or something, like they're very obedient and they know that they don't know everything. Like they don't know what the war, what the government is planning and preparing, or what the reasons are for, but they trust. They have belief and they trust in their government or whatever, the military, and they want to obey and be good soldiers in the fight for like America or whatever. So I'm like, in the same way, I'm being obedient because I believe in my spiritual guidance. I believe in God, or these universal forces are good, and I want to be guided and told what the mission is. Like I'm willing to wait for like to serve. So whenever I'm being called to do so, I'm setting aside my wants and my desires for the bigger purpose, to win this war of evil that's on our world. So I'm fighting this battle alone, but I'm not alone because I know there's other soldiers out there. And I'm getting that like everybody is working together in this mission, but they're unaware. They're not being directly, it's almost like a secret agent where I know the mission at hand. So I'm getting direct messages. I'm seeing like Charlie's Angels. I got that download a while back about the Charlie's Angels. Like that guy on the speaker, if you envision, that's like a symbolism for God. And I'm like a Charlie's Angel, like this God's angel that's being spoken to through the speaker to fight for freedom. So whenever God calls me to do something, I'm doing it. That's amazing. I love how this like comes through like with movies, and it's just super cool. It makes it really fun and exciting, like to get these messages like that sound so cool to me, because it relates to me in my life and my experiences, and like what stands out to me, what stood out to me, and that was divinely guided and orchestrated from my birth. So it's just super cool. But okay, now I'm getting back to what I was talking about in the beginning about words. I was being guided the other day to like look at the places that I was parking at, like that I was giving a lot of my messages, to look at the street sign, to look at what the street was. And one of them was Freedom. And then the other one was Washington. And I was like, oh my God. It's like those, and I kept seeing like 76. I kept seeing 76, like I was saying in the other message. And so I keep getting these messages about America and freedom and liberty. And George Washington was the same master builder. I believe Was he born on the 22nd? Like, that's what I heard. So I think I looked it up, but anyways. So yeah, I heard that George Washington is a 22, is a master builder. So the numerology of things and the words. So it's like, just because I was sitting in this parking lot where there wasn't anything around me, so it was like, it feels open and free, like freedom. And that's how I'm giving my messages, is I feel this sense of like freedom. So it's the freedom, it's the surroundings, it's making me feel good. But it's not only that, it's even the name of the street was Freedom. So it goes like much, it's bigger and beyond my imagination. And I'm getting itchy nose. And so it's like God is guiding me down this path where there's such a bigger, huge meaning and purpose behind every little thing that I'm doing that I have no idea. I'm hearing blind as a bat. But the light is guiding the bat out of the cave. Wow. So I got that visualization. Like, imagine if you're a bat and you can't see and you want to get out of the cave. You're going to just fly towards the light. And that's why insects are drawn to the light. There's something about that, like caves and light. I was kind of getting like that insects have that instinct. And that's weird, insect and instinct. And I heard intersect, so that birds have this really natural instinct. And then I'm getting like the eagle, because the freedom, the eagle, the liberty, that's the American symbol. So birds are like, and I'm hearing birds right now and seeing, like, I see like a big butterfly flying right here. Birds are like extremely significant to this, I heard movement. So, but this, you know, earth healer movement. It's the freedom and the liberty that the bird, and the natural instincts that the bird holds. And like taking care of their family, their nest. And just the intelligence, like of an eagle. I heard that eagles aren't preyed upon. I heard something like this, like only the crow will try to attack an eagle, but the eagle just flies directly towards the sun because they're the only bird that can do that. And then the other bird is like blinded by the sun, and then like it can't see or anything, so it just like leaves it alone, something like that. So the higher it gets to the light, the others will leave it alone because they can't compete. Yes. So I'm the eagle. I'm God's eagle. I'm chosen to take this path. I'm the eagle. I'm the only one that can get God's guidance, like get closest to the light. I'm closest to the light. The freedom leader. I can fly highest to the light. Sometimes I feel like I want to sell this channel. Like, I don't know what that's all about. Like, I don't know if, because I was just thinking that right now. I'm like, I was going to say something, but I was like, do I do that or not? I don't know. So I'm literally like this human that doesn't really know what I'm doing, but I'm trying my best. And sometimes I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So that's where it gets confusing to me, is that, because sometimes I feel like awkward, like, am I supposed to be like saying, like, trying to get people to join the channel or not? Like, am I trying to like say stuff to, like, because I wanted to say like, so you better like follow me because, you know, I have this angelic divine connection with God, and we're trying to spread world peace here. So it's like, join, like, subscribe to the channel, comment on the videos, interact with me, press the notification bell so you get every message like as I release it. Like, join with me so we can transform together and you can know how God works. And you can tap into your divinity and your connection with God, and how God can steer you in your own life. It's like, because I'm connected, I'm recruiting. It's like a recruitment, like the military. This is like a military operation. I'm recruiting people to come a part of this movement so we can create world peace together. And I have God is my, like, instead of us listening to the government and being soldiers for the government, we're being soldiers for God. I'm like in this Charlie's Angels, like, divine guidance, like fighting for freedom, and I'm recruiting people to join this operation. And you're gonna be with me. Like, this isn't just me. I'm gathering leaders together so we can do this together. And you will be on my mission, and you will get my guidance that I'm getting from God, so we can fight together. And you will be highly favored, and you will have the cloak of, I was hearing like forgiveness and safety and joy and abundance, because you're being cloaked. That's the word that seems like the right word. Like, you're being cloaked. Yeah, there was something that I was seeing the other day. I was trying to look it up. Like, what was that? Oh, I was looking up the meanings of my kids' names, because at the time I wasn't spiritual or religious. I didn't know, like, I didn't know the significance of choosing my children's names. And so I was looking them up, and I kind of knew, like, my name, I kind of knew the general, like, definition. I didn't look into it further until I started this channel, and God was telling me to research my name further, to, like, really dive in deeper, and just don't just look at it surface level. Like, look deeper into the meaning of your name. Like, there's different meanings in different, like, languages or different nationalities or whatever. So there's like Hebrew, and there's like Latin, and there's like Greek, and there's French, and there's different, you know, dialects. That's what I'm hearing. And so when I was looking up my kids' names, I was like shocked that it was like religious names that I did not even know at all. I didn't even know. And I was looking up other people's names that were like problems in my life, and they had meanings that weren't like very religious or spiritual. So it's like, you really, so I was telling my son, it's like, you really have to pay, like, you really have to be careful of the names that you give. Confirmation. The names that you give to your children, because that has a significance to their life. But you will be called to what you feel is the right name. Like, God will lead you to the right name, but if you're not in connection with God, you could be thrown off. And I was also getting like, I got this before about how if parents aren't connected spiritually, or they're bad, that they could be punished with their children, like being bad towards them, or like their children suffering because of them. And that's just like, it's all like just horrible. I'm just getting visions of like bad stuff, like a child being sick in a hospital with like cancer or some disease or something. And I was getting visions of like in the ghetto, like in the streets, in the inner cities and stuff, how kids are getting shot and killed, and like, it was just horrible. But we have to really maintain and balance ourselves and turn the bad into good. So whatever thoughts that you have that are negative, we want to turn that around into a positive and think about the positive things. No matter what is happening in your life, there's always somebody that's going through something worse or different worse. it might be worse to you. Like, there could be something else that's worse. So this is kind of stupid, but like, let's say you were a prisoner and you couldn't get out somewhere, you were trapped, like kidnapped or something, or like in a constant, I was kind of getting like a prisoner, like in a jail cell, like a prisoner of war or something like that, where you're locked away, but you still have God, like you still have your breath, you can still breathe, you can still move, you have the freedom of solitude. You're not being harassed by people, well, maybe not that often. I was hearing like something like you're fasting, so it's like, even that you might be given food, maybe it's not, maybe it's like rationings or whatever, it's not very much, but you're still getting fed, you're still alive, your heart is beating. Like, you have to think of all the little things that you're grateful for. You have your memories, you have your mind, you have your brain that can keep you very busy thinking of all kinds of things. You have time to process your life. You have time to process what has happened to you. You have time to process how to get out of the situation with God's help. You can call other things into your existence to help you manifest your escape. You can imagine things, like you can imagine yourself drinking water or eating or whatever it is that you desire. You can dream, you can sleep, you can talk. There's a lot of different things that you should be grateful for. And then I was getting an opposite, worse situation. Now, if you look at it from the other person's perspective, there could be a worse situation as well. So it's like the worst situation that I was getting was like somebody in an ocean that's bobbing in the water in the middle of the ocean. And the scariness of not knowing like what's underneath you, and what could happen that's like unexpected. Not having the stability of being on the ground in an environment where it's like your natural environment to be on stable ground, and to know, like, you know, who your predators are. like you have, if you're in a prison cell, at least like you know like what's around you and who's your predator, like who's coming to give you food, or who's yelling at you or whatever, or torturing you or whatever. And there's probably like a light on, or like the light comes and then it gets dark, like, you know, like that's not what you're worried about. You're not worried about the floor opening up and you being swallowed. kind of like that. Like, you're not worried about like things morphing and like changing in your like visual reality. So that's what it's like in the ocean. Like, it's so mysterious to us that we don't know what's under there, and we don't know what could happen, and all those possibilities are terrifying. So that's a way to look at it as well. It's like there's so many different perspectives in life that, just like, okay, this is another thing you can do, is like in the bathtub, like put your head under the water, like just around your ears, so you're like floating in the water, so you can breathe and you can, you know, just rest and relax like that. But the water is up over your ears, so you're kind of hearing what you're kind of envisioning yourself like you're in the ocean. I did this. And what the fish or sea creatures are hearing, and the vibrations of the water and the sounds and everything. Like, even if you spoke, it sounds muffled and it sounds different. Like, let's say you're listening to like a YouTube video or something, like I was doing that. And so it sounds completely muffled and different and echoing, and you could feel the vibrations of the like everything. So God wants us to do that as well, to get that perspective. So imagine if that was your life, and that was how you were observing life in this completely different, it's a different realm, it's a different reality. And so animals and stuff, like, they have different hearing, a different way of being that's different than us as humans. So we don't perceive the world through vibrations, and like, we don't hear the echoing, we don't hear all of that, because we have ears. Like, we're not in this, we're in the air. And we have this different, you know, environment, but not every, like, animal. Okay, sorry about that. I need to wrap this video up as well. So there's different perspectives that we're having, and even not that's only hearing. So the vision, like our eyesight, that kind of vision is different in animals. Like, different animals have different kinds of vision. It's like night vision, like the bat, or I'm getting like wolves, or different animals have different kinds of vision depending on like their natural way of being, like what type of food they eat, or what type of environment they can go into. Like a frog or something, where they can like go into the water and land, like an amphibian, or a shark, or I'm getting like a deer, or like a gorilla. Like, I'm hearing like, or I'm seeing these different animals. I don't know why I'm getting a camel again. I was getting something like in the desert, when it's like the hot sun is like blaring. Oh, they have those big eyelids to cover their eyes. So animals are like adaptive to their environment because of the way that that's why they're like the way they are. I'm getting a vision of like a crab and like lobster, like a crab. So a crab is designed to look like a crab because of its features. You know, like it has the hard shell because it doesn't want to get eaten by certain predators. And it has these like claws, and the claws are like hard as well. They have a certain diet and they have a certain way of like living. Like they can slide underneath rocks or whatever, or I don't know why I said rocks, because you can't slide under a rock, but I was getting kind of like in the ocean. There could be like an elevated rock or something, like a piece of a rock that's like elevated, because the rocks are like stacked kind of like, and it can go in the cracks. So that's why it's flat. And it's like has the legs, and I'm getting like a spaceship, like that's why the spaceships are designed like that, with the legs going out like a crab. Like I was kind of getting a vision of like those movies like Star Wars and stuff. Yeah, because okay, that's why I'm kind of like getting like a camel, like the desert and like Star Wars. The way that those characters were in the movies were designed for the environment. And then I'm also seeing like how that spaceship went like into that cave. There's like a cave in the movie where they park their spaceships. It's almost like a disc, and it's like going, it's like a CD or like a disc drive, like it's going into and then going out. It's very like inconspicuous. But these caves are like horizontal caves. It's not like a round, like a round opening. It's more like a, I don't know. Okay, so I was getting Star Wars, Charlie's Angels. I've been getting a lot of like movies and fairy tales and all kinds of things. My mind is like going blank right now because this is all like so much. And the significance of water. This is water in here. So there's very spiritual meaning to water. So keep hydrated. You're going to be connected spiritually. And I'm getting the buses going by, like that's like the end, like they're leaving, like to leave. So that's the end of this video. I hope you guys got like useful information out of this. I don't feel like I completely like spoke enough about words and the importance of the words that you're using throughout your day. Make sure they're positive words that are uplifting you in your life. Staying away from negative things, staying away from self-doubt or self-deprecation. Think positive and uplift yourself. If you say anything or think anything that's negative, change it right away and say the opposite. Like if you say, oh my God, that was so stupid of me, I just did that. Change it right away and say, no, that wasn't stupid. I'm really smart. And there was a reason why that happened.